Welcome guys to our recap every single NFL team for the 2022 season. We're going to now review the Green Bay Packers now. This is a bit of an interesting season if you're a Packers fan, cheesehead. Going into the season, there's a lot of questions in the offseason about now Davante Adams is gone, you get this shit ton of money to Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. The question is, if you're going to do that, you got to go for the here and now, and ultimately you guys finished third in the NFC North with the Bears and the Lions. Again, let's get that in there. You finished third against bye-backs in the Lions. You finished third. You was 8-9 in the regular season. Missed out on the playoffs. You give Rodgers that big deal. Davante went to the Raiders. You got some trades back for that. And what do? You invest heavily on the defense side of the ball when the majority of the NFL is heavily offensive minded. You want to, if you're going to give this big contract to Rodgers, and hopefully that he can have something like a Tom Brady did a couple of years ago in Tampa Bay, and he can, win it all, or what happened in 2021 with Matthew Stafford and the Rams, win it all at all costs. If you're going to go that route, you've got to back the quarterback, build around it, especially if he's a guy like him. What Rodgers is 38, 39. You need to back him. But what did you do? You backed the defense. Again, you got some defensive players like Devontae White. You got John Reed, a tackle from the Raiders. You got Kelson Nixon from the Raiders, who's a cornerback. You got Luke Tech, who's from the Colts. In the draft, you got Rashid Walker, offensive tackle, so again he could be a good prospect. He came around about the round 6 or round 7 pick. You got Quay Walker, inside linebacker. You got Christian Watson, he was a second round pick. He had a decent year. What you need is you really need to look at the quarterback position. If I'm Green Bay, just pay off Aaron Rodgers' contract in this off season and send him to the. I know it's been rumored to come back this for the 2023 season. Which, if I'm the front office, why the fuck would you bring Rodgers back if you're not gonna invest and go all the way with this guy? You can trade him away and get some of that cap space back, because again, when his contract runs out in 2025, you're gonna have some dead cap space. Do you really want to have in 2024, next year, you're going to have some dead cap space. Do you really want to wait another year? So, in my opinion, get rid of Rodgers, send him to the Jets, send him to the Colts, send him to wherever. Like, he's probably going to go to a Jets or the Colts anyway, or the Commanders. Somebody who's, desperate for a quarterback. It has this whole thing with Rodgers screams, the Colts and the Commanders, we need a quarterback. We don't know what the fuck we're doing in that position, so we're going to have an old quarterback again, like we have done the last couple of years, and have Rodgers. But anyway. They need a tight end. They need wide receivers. They need an edge. They need to build that trenches. They need to build the trenches. They need to build that offensive line. Okay, you had a couple of you had Rashid Walker in the last draft, but you need to invest heavily on the offensive side of the ball. You still need to look at the defense as well, like a safety and a cornerback and the defensive line. But you need to look at your offensive side, like a tight end, wide receiver, offensive tackle, stuff like that, and the center as well. There's a lot of things that you need to work on as well. You do have a first round pick. You had a first round pick, a second round pick. You have 3 fifth round picks, 4 fifth round picks. You have a third round pick, 4th round pick, and you have a 6th round pick and 2 7th round picks. You were 17th in passing yards. Passing yards, the Packers were 17th in passing yards. Rushing yards, he was 15th. Points allowed, 14th. Points against, he was tied 15th. Again, it's a big rebuild. It's a big rebuilding job now in Green Bay, and you've got to start by getting rid of Aaron Rodgers and building for the future. If that's going to be somebody in this draft at the quarterback position, somebody you can trade, or is it going to be finally Jordan Love's turn? You actually got him 3 years ago now. it's time to start Jordan Love and see what you have with him in the quarterback position. He's had a couple of cameos, but again, he's 24. He needs to start playing now.